Hello class, today we're going to continue with Unit 4 in our textbooks, Fascinating Planet. As you know, we've been talking about the world around us, our natural environment, also, yes, about national parks, and what other things? Perhaps why we need to protect them, and the things that have been affecting them like tourism and climate change. So today we're going to work in groups and we're going to go over something that's on page 65 of our textbook. So if everybody can turn to page 65, we're going to go over part G today. And working in groups, we're going to discuss some questions. And everything that we're talking about today will use vocabulary that we've covered in this unit. So we're going to go over in groups again these 4 questions, which I will read for you now, and you'll go over again within your groups. Question 1 will ask, national parks are rare in some countries and common in others. Which is true in your country? Now you remember, rare is one of our vocabulary words. Can you tell me what it means? Yes? Yeah, not common. So among your groups, you're going to talk about which parks might not be common or which countries don't have national parks. Question 2, Jiuzhaigou, which is in China, as we discussed, has no lack of tourists. What do you think is the greater benefit of this tourism? The money that it brings in by tourists, or the love and respect for nature tourists feel when they visit the park? Who wants to read question 3 for me? Yes, you? Yes. Jiuzhaigou. Yes. So the beautiful mountains and lakes in Jiuzhaigou took millions of years to form. How long do you think it would take for human beings to have a major effect on them? So as we've discussed in our vocabulary words, we need to protect the environment around us. So you'll think about that when answering this question. Number 4, another volunteer? Yes, you. Worldwide. Resources. Yes, so how should people decide which species are worth protecting? How do we make that decision? I want you to discuss within your groups what we do to decide which species will be protected. So I know some of you in your groups are going to finish with these questions and you're going to wonder what next. Because we have 20 minutes to work with these questions, if you finish, I have a handout here. Yeah, I know how much you love my handouts, with additional activities that you can do. So if you finish, I don't want you just sitting around. I want you to move on to activity B. And in this activity, you will analyze some information. In your group, you'll talk about the national parks that you have visited. List the parks in the columns provided according to how many people within your group have visited the park. For example, only one person has visited the park, you'll put it in column 1. If 2 people have visited the park, you put it in column 2. And if 3 people have visited the park, you'll put it in column 3. And I know some of you may not have been to national parks. That's okay. That's why we're working in groups here. So you'll be able to learn about some parks that maybe you've never heard of before. If you finish activity B, then you can move on to activity C. And I want you to reflect on everything we've learned in this unit so far, and then as a group, discuss. You'll take 2 or 3 of the national parks that you have visited, and you'll discuss what you love about the parks. And I want you to talk also about what concerns you. For example, concern means, what do you worry about? Yes, concern. So what kind of worries do you have? Think back to the knowledge that we've gained in this unit. Think of the things that you love about parks. You know, is it the rare animals and plants that are there? Is it the peaks, the mountains? Are there lakes and rivers? I want you to think about the things you love, and you'll put them in the love column. Things that you worry about. Again, looking back at the unit, we've talked about climate change. We've talked about needing to protect species, animals, and plants. We've talked about the things that tourists may be doing that affect the world around us. So what things are you concerned about? Put those in the second column where I have the word concerns. So I'm going to pass out all of these handouts to everybody here. Everybody will get their own copy. And then I'm going to divide you in groups of 3, which is perfect. We have 9 people here, so 3 groups of 3. You 3 will be a group here, you 3 right here, and 1, 2, 3 here. Okay, so now we know our groups. We know we have 20 minutes to work on the part G within our textbook, okay? And if you finish, move on to the next activities. I'll walk around just to help you if you have any questions. And as I always say, you've got this. All right, let's go.